Good morning, student. Today we are going to study about the isocont curve under chapter 2. So isocont curve, it is a similar to the indifference curve. So we have learned about the indifference curve. So what does indifference curve tell us? That each point on indifference curve give equal level of satisfaction. Here we introduce a similar concept known as isocont. It is just an alternative way of representing the production function. So here we are presenting a production function in a graphical way, that we will call it as a isocont. Consider a production function with two input, labor and capital. So here we are using two input, that is capital and labor. When it comes to indifference curve, we are using two input, that is good x and good y. Instead of good x and good y, we are using capital and labor. So similar to indifference curve, isocont curve explains that each point on isocont will give same level of output by using capital and labor. So it will explain each point gives a equal level of output by using capital and labor. An isocont is the set of all possible combination of two inputs that yield the same maximum possible level of output. So here it is giving maximum level of output at each point by using two inputs, that is capital and labor. Each isocont represent a particular level of output and is labeled with that amount of output. So each indifference curve it represent a certain amount of output by using capital and labor. So this is the graph of isocont curve. So when they will ask for the exam or for any questions regarding this, so you have to keep it in mind. When it comes to indifference curve, there are two elements, that is good x and good y. By using those commodity, you will get maximum level of satisfaction. By consuming good x and good y, you will get maximum level of satisfaction. When it comes to isocont, by using a labor and capital as an input, you will produce maximum output. So here there are three indifference curve. First, O x axis which represent the labor and O y axis which represent the capital. So here there are three indifference curve, that is Q is equal to Q1. Here we are not writing as a C. C means IC means it is indifference curve. When it comes to IC, indifference curve, we will write it as a IC. Here we are writing Q. Q means isocont. Here second isocont curve, third isocont curve. So here Q1, Q3, Q2. There are three curves are there. So at Q3, it is the highest isocont curve. Why it is the highest in isocont curve? Because in curve 3 you are using maximum level of capital and maximum level of labor. When it comes to isocont 2, it is a medium one because you are using labor as well as capital at a medium level. When it comes to isocont 1, you are using lesser amount of capital and lesser amount of labor. So higher the isocont will represent, higher the output. So what you have studied already, the same concept you are going to study here now. So the diagram here generalizes this concept. So which concept? That we place L on x axis. L means labor on labor on OX axis. On OY axis we will represent K. K means capital. We have three isocon for the three output level, namely Q is equal to Q1, Q is equal to Q2 and Q is equal to Q3. So we are having three isocon curve. Two input combination, that is L1 and K2. So L1, K2 for isocont 1. So that is labor and capital. And L2, K1, that is for indifference curve, same for the indifference curve, that is isocont curve first. Give us a same level of output which we will call it as a Q1. So let me repeat once again. In isocont curve K2 L1, this point located on the isocont first. Next one K1 L2, this also point located at this point also located at isocont curve first, that is Q is equal to Q1, where it gives same level of output at all the points, which gives same level of output. When it comes K1 L3, it is the point where it located at Q2, which gives higher the output because you are using more amount of labor. From L2 to you are moving towards L3, which is the higher level. So the indifference curve will come, the point will come on Q2, which is the higher indifference curve. Two input combination. Here also we can say there is a combination of two input, that is labor and capital. So capital we are not representing in terms of C, instead of that we are representing in terms of K. So capital means we will represent in terms of K. If we fix the capital K1, so this is the point, and increases the labor to L3, this is the point. The output increases as we reach to the higher isocont, that is Q is equal to Q2. When marginal production when the marginal products are positive with generated amount of one input, the same level of output can be produced only using lesser amount of the other. So when we are using one lesser amount, that means here we are using capital and labor. Here also we are using the same level of capital and labor. So how it is difference from Q is equal to Q2? So how it is different from this point? How it is differs? Because here we are using the capital as the same level in Q1 also and Q2 also, but there will be changes in the L. As we are moving, we are using more and more amount of labor. If you continue this line, what happens? It will intersect here, and here another point will come, that will be L4. So it will goes on changing. So that means when you are moving higher isocont curve, that means you are using higher level of capital or labor. So here if you continue this graph, it will give another line, that we can write it as a L4. So that means you are moving towards your right side, that means you are using more and more amount of labor, that's why it is moving upward, this curves. So here you are using less labor, so it is represent in isocont 1. Here you are using L2 amount of labor, which is greater than L1, so it is represent here. sorry, it is represent. Okay, so here you are using L1 amount of labor. Because of that, what is happening? L1 amount of labor, because of that isocont curve is on first only. Here you are using more amount of labor, that's why it is on isocont 1. You can ask why it is on isocont 1, because you are reducing the use of capital. Once you reduce the use of capital and if you increase the use of labor, it is going to be equal, because in first point, at first point, what you are doing, you are using K2 amount of labor and L1 amount of labor. That means you are using 2 acres of land and only 2 labors. Now what you are doing, you are using only 1 acre of land and you are using 4 labors. That means automatically your production going to be equal, because the land will be lesser, and if the labors are more, it will produce that much only. And if land is greater and labor is less, it will come equal production. But what happening to L3 at point L3, at point L3 you are using a labor, you are increasing the amount of labor, but another point is there, you are increasing the capital also. That means you are increasing property also. Now we are shifting from L2 to L3. That means you are using more and more amount of labor. That's why it is shifting. Instead of now 4 labor, you are using 8 labors. That means automatically you are going to increase your production. Here in L4, what you are doing, you are going to use 15 labors. Again the production will increase. So this is about the isocont curve. So thank you student. If you are having any doubt, you can clarify with me. A simple concept, it tells about that if you goes on increasing labor or capital, the output what you are getting, it also goes on increasing. Thank you.